Uh, yeah, my name's Liam. I do poetry. It's nice to see you all. Kind of feel like doing a poetry night is like going on a blind date with a bunch of people all at the same time. So let's have a good night and let's get to know each other. I'm gonna ask you, you were talking about snaps earlier, some things I like to do. Let's all just try snapping for a bit. Oh my God. It's like the pitter patter of rain falling on the rooftop. Oh, isn't that soothing? And then maybe sometimes you hear a line that you like and you're like, That's what we call a cheesecake noise. You know, when you have a nice piece of cheesecake and you put it in your mouth and you're like, Those are cheesecake noises, and those are definitely allowed here too. I'm gonna actually have us all start off with a little bit of a beat. This first poem is called Press Start, and I'm just gonna need you to follow along. Nice. All right, here we go. I pressed start on my art and burned my heart to a blank disc like the year was 2000, and I found the time to fix this, mix this lone wolf with a bear cub. Where's the love? Hanging from a hammock like it's Hamlet howling, there's the rub. Bouncing back on the bourbon like I'm Beelzebub. I name my journal Book of Shadows and quell my dark side with repose and close before head nest rests on pillows. I dream only in non-prose as I disclose that I gotta give a pep talk before they hear the breaking news. Those who love Sherlock, yo, you should have watched Blue's Clues. What are those, my new shoes? Last pair at the store. Stop the clicks on links on Facebook, we could share a little more. I have read my misdirections on my Google Maps before. My Tinder dates will demonstrate and then rate my rapport. Romantics and fanatics can get their fix in limericks. Let's make it quick, I'm getting sick of settling up the store. So I throw in a metaphor that I found on the highway. The gin has got you Frank Sinatra drinking vodka my way. Today is my day. MasterCard on prepay for the hot take on the mixtape. That's gonna make you hit replay on your disc, man. Y'all, we're taking risks, man. Compromise my 9 to 5 instead of just inspiring. But I'm now out of hiding and compiling a running list of all the times curiosity could have killed the capitalist. Let's go, JJs. It's nice to see you all tonight. So I'm living in Japan right now, and this is my first time in Korea. And I like it a lot. Like I like Korea a lot. I was in Seoul for a few days. Wild place. Smells were interesting. I came down to Busan and I was like, Busan is my kind of city. I think I might have fallen in love with the city. I think I love Busan. And I got food poisoning. Which makes this next poem like all the more relevant because this next poem is a mountain of bullshit. It may use fancy words. It may have an interesting structure. It may even have a compelling theme, but we all know it's just shitty poetry. Shitty poetry rocketing from my shitty asshole. Shitty poetry, how I'm gonna change this shitty world, but I really can't change shit because I am the shittiest person. I shit everywhere. I leave a brown crumb trail everywhere I go. Yes, I have crapped in Canada. I have shat in Seoul. I had the runs in Vancouver and I ran from the runs in Busan. My shit carried me all the way to London where I went to Shakespeare's Globe and I took the biggest shit. Shakespeare is some well-written shit. Although fancy shits buy overpriced tickets to watch shit they barely understand. Side note, Hamlet needs more poop jokes. That shit could be hilarious. Music, shit. Top 40s, recycled shit. Top 40s told me that shit's cray. Wrong, Kanye. Shits. Shit! Producers sit in brown boardrooms feasting on all the new shit, thinking it tastes like chocolate. Guess what? It's not chocolate. Not anymore. It's shit! And there's plenty of shit going on in the world. We got shit in Gaza, shit in Ukraine, shit in Ferguson. Shit is constantly hitting the fan out here. And newscasters and politicians make up shit so we can feel safe and shit, but newscasters and politicians are kind of full of shit. So much so I got to watch Last Week Tonight with John Oliver just to make any of that shit make sense. Plus, I got my own shit to deal with, you know? Like, I got friendships and relationships. Some days it's just hard taking a shit. Gotta learn to loosen up. Stop taking my shit so seriously. It's just difficult when every day you look at the world and all you see is shit. Just this heaping pile of fecal matter fuming around the sun, and the sun shines down its shit on our shit so we can see shit and grow shit and eat that shit and make more shit. And you know what? That shit's good. That shit's necessary. That's the shit that's holding us together. We are shit makers. Plopping down our beautiful textures and aromas in the grand toilet bowl of life, waiting to get flushed off this mortal coil. And before that happens, I want to get to know all the shit. Or most of the shit, as much shit as I can handle, so when shit goes down, I can start to give a shit. I want to get to know your shit. See what makes your shit cool. What makes your shit pop. Shit pop. That could be a genre of music. We could make that shit together and then like weed through all the shit until we find like the one, you know? Like the golden nugget. And maybe that will just be another piece of shit. And that's okay. Because shit's good. Shit's necessary. Thank you all very much. So we're past that point of the blind date where I've like made you laugh much. And now we're moving into like, okay, now you're gonna get to know a little bit of my heart, okay? So these next few poems, things I like to write about are love, because I think love is in everything. I like to write about myself, because I'm a selfish bastard. And I like to write about the things that contain myself, because I think they're the things, the most honest things to portray. This next poem is about getting over it. And it's a poem inspired by Leonard Cohen. Anybody know Leonard Cohen around here? Yeah, you would probably all have heard one of his songs before, Hallelujah, you know? I can't even remember how it goes right now because I'm on stage. But, you know, Hallelujah. And he was the guy who wrote that song. He's a Canadian poet, very famous Canadian poet, and he wrote a song called Chelsea Hotel. And this poem is inspired by that, and it's about getting over a loss, getting over a lost love. So here we go. I get jealous as I make eye contact with a red neon no holding hands with a vacancy sign. See, my mind is a hotel, booked full, brimming with memories. Believe me when I tell you, there's no room for you here. They have all been locked up with hanged men hitched up to doorknobs by bootstraps, whispering, "Do not disturb" to this disturbed mind. I, playing host to a haunted hotel of ghosts, the entertainer, trembling, talking to spirits, sucking bat spirits, pulling puffs, coughing up rough chuffs, making mad bluffs with the riffraff left, lingering for a last laugh, wondering if whispers of lost lovers will ever leave me. Why does forgetting feel so much like remembering everything? The way that holy lips can curl devilish in wax crescent moon, or that barrel laughter, shotgunning new constellations, still always playing conjurer, casting secret spells around these shaking hands, turning my blue into a cool pool of water, palms facing up, throat open skywards, begging for a hallelujah, and I'm stuck here staring at the ceiling, held hostage in my own hostel. My mind has no vacancy. My mind is a black ocean, the same one I dreamt of the last time I saw you, standing on the shorelines, watching dragonflies molt their skins on the rocks. You couldn't see me. I've become so good at standing still, cuffing my fingers around the broken links that once changed me, held me so well to this Chelsea hotel where I still believe that I need you. I don't need you. I feel my way down the hallway. Hand lands on a cold bronze doorknob, my master key at the ready, the lock releases and I venture in. This room still stings of pinprick tragedy and daydreams of Hollywood endings. I've been assembling it all into something resembling letting go, like a dimmer switch for the red neon note, knowing full well that your memory was a comment card left on the dresser. I picked it up like a flower petal and pressed it into this journal, and there will always be room for you. Thank you. So, masculinity is a funny thing. And so I like to write about it. And I think about this one guy who just wanted to be a dude so bad. So I wrote a poem about him. His name's Pinocchio. So really wanted to be a guy. All Pinocchio wanted was to be a real boy. And the real boys were making asses of themselves, cleaving through carnival rides and coveting cotton candy until festival grounds became botched. Riding young bucks round and round the merry-go, trample on marigolds like their mothers didn't watch. Playing pretend with heavy weapons, Nerf wars, fingers pointed into 21-gun salutes. Ripe for the picking like stone fruits. Confided, pressurized, materialized into a clay shaping into a whale belly swell of unspoken spirits. Shipwrecks assumed to be unsalvageable. Broken and torn sails left like carnival tents and discarded uniforms. All Pinocchio wanted was to be a real boy, but real boys still had puppet strings. Flying high on fishing lines, stacking vertebrae on tall spines, out of line, role-playing, 5 o'clock shadow with free choice, branching stories, yet the tree has been climbed 20 times over by forefathers who hung tire swings from tired wings, hoping to hold the weight of boyhood like a man should. But the swing sat empty, as boys took their plastic bodies and forged action figurines, storing themselves away in the basement drainage sessions of COD, and HD LED flat screens crossing their eyes into split screen consolidating in consoles. Calling out code names all the same, saying, "You are alpha," dripping saliva from the gaping hole, told of how much the world owes to men. All Pinocchio wanted was to be a real boy, but do real boys grow up to be real men? Adorned in a brazen suit of armor, boyhood thrown away in the smoldering fire, leaving nothing behind but steel gazes, bestial forms. And when their maddened manes cover their faces, when they see hooves where their hands should be, will they ask their fathers, is this what manhood feels like? Is this a softness only calluses know? Cahill Gibran said, work is love made visible, but I don't feel anything underneath the hardness of horseshoes. Father, is life a burden I must carry on all fours? Is this something I must bear alone? I've been trained to be alone, but I don't want to be alone. I've been trained to be alone, I don't want to be alone. Their answer, sitting behind buck-tooth under wetted tongue, is it as satisfying as the carnival rides and Hot Wheels commercials? Will they look their sons like gift horses in the mouth? Will they shrug rather than hug? Will they say, walk it off? As if childhood was a disease spat out and then coughed up, and if the world doesn't cough up the greatness promised, do boys don the jadedness of lone wolves as the nightmares marinating in mental spaces start bleeding red reality? Why is it that we highlight mental illness while we white out masculinity as boys become butchers? Boys become butchers. All Pinocchio wanted was to be a real boy. And I would tell him, dude, you were already a sun, shining bright as the star your father wished upon, taken into hands that cut and sanded wood into boyishness, a form fitting the inclinations of building love. You were already something out of nothing. All Pinocchio wanted was to be a real boy. But before there was a Pinocchio, there was only a tree. Some days, that's all I wish I could be. Thank you. Okay, only one more serious poem, and I swear I'll get to another fun poem to kind of wrap us all up and get us out of this really sad place that I put us all in, and I'm apologizing ahead of time. But don't worry, there is an exit out. One thing I took from one of my favorite poets, Buddy Wakefield, is always write towards the light. And this poem is about that, my own struggles with self-love and self-acceptance, and I'm sure we all feel depression at some point. As something, we love to throw labels on things, but whatever you're feeling, you're not alone in that. And this poem is me talking about my experience through that, and it is called The Truth About Lying. You taught me that a lie was a single drop of poison in the well, beautiful as it falls. The sun sitting in the swelling belly, transparent drop, and the water turns in on itself. Goes from life-giving to misleading. A single lie makes ghosts of our most courageous of liquids. It is fighting for survival. I've been fighting against myself. Covering up my words like boxing gloves as I go head to head with the thoughts in my mind, armed with knives, they nick at my arteries, hoping my blood might spill into the poisoned well. But I've been drinking swamp water long enough to grow marshlands where my heart should be. Coyote foaming at the side of his smile, hoping you hadn't noticed the ravenous on his tongue. It's why I keep silence as the lover who never leaves the bedroom, always waiting for me when the night comes. The night comes earlier and earlier this winter. I lie every time I sleep in the silence, cry in the quiet. I'm addicted to the poison. Cigarettes are $17, but I still buy them like every stick was another way to say, I'm sorry. Excuse me. My apologies. Can't, busy. Wish I could. Too bad, my mistakes. Whoops, oops, oops, shit, sorry, next time, last time, this will be the last time, it's over. It's not you, it's me. I'm sorry for you, but I'm more sorry for me. For that, I am sorry. I'm sick, I'm sorriness, I'm sore from sorry, sorrowful sorry. I don't know, I'm just sorry. And every sorry I suck back poisons the well. And I've been poisoning the well every time I don't tell the truth, so here's the truth. Last night, I had a dream we built a pillow fort sanctuary, let loose all our fondest memories. They played like children with lightsabers. They felt very far away. Here's the truth. The night before, I had a dream I carved hate into my skin and marked myself like Cain, but woke up in time to dull blade and pain. Here's the truth. We save ourselves from ourselves every day. Here's the truth. I've been writing more postcards to the universe with a PS. Please reply back. Here's the truth. I consider my roommate coming home at 4 a.m. with a bottle of wine and a life lesson a pretty damn good reply. Here's the truth. I've had my heart on lockdown ever since I learned what it is to lose the ones you love. Instead of picking at the scars, I've started picking at locks, and I think I'm getting closer to loving myself again. Here's the truth. You taught me that a lie is a single drop of poison in the well. The truth is, the truth cleanses the pool. Thank you so much. All right, JJs, Ulsan. You guys have been a wonderful audience. Thank you so much for everything. I only got one more for you. It's a light one. This poem is called Everyone is Talking Shit, and all I want to do is grow love poems. Like I said though, like Sean said before, I do have some pieces. I collaborated with an artist, Lily Hetu. She made the art on these pieces. The last 4 poems you heard are all on the back side of these ones. You have the Pinocchio poem here. You got vacancy signs. You got the shit poem, and you got the truth about lying. If you want a piece, come and talk to me. We'll negotiate a price. You can take a little bit of poetry home with you and a nice little piece of art as well. My name is Liam Coady. It's been a pleasure being here tonight. Thank you so much for having me. Sean, thank you for bringing me out. Let's have one more poem. Let's get to some music. Yeah. I want to grow love poems. Good love poems. Because a good love poem has had its fair share of first kisses. A good love poem uses just the right amount of tongue. A good love poem talks too much, rambles on relentlessly like Marty McFly on a guitar solo, eyes rolling into the back of his head, not realizing everyone at prom is staring at you and I'm so sorry. Now fuck that shit. A good love poem doesn't apologize. A good love poem doesn't have time for that. A good love poem has time for truth. A good love poem has time for trust. A good love poem always has time to listen. A good love poem is a new cut with old scars still healing. A good love poem pours itself out time and time again, only to realize that a good love poem has always been the ocean. A good love poem doesn't mind getting wet. A good love poem loves getting wet. A good love poem is gliding through the air. A good love poem is growing from the ground. A good love poem barely makes a sound. A good love poem takes up so much room, but still has room for you, and you, and you, and me, and he, and she, and they, and we, all we, all we. A good love poem knows that the greatest enemy is apathy, because it is the one place a good love poem cannot go, because a good love poem cares too much. A good love poem cares a metric fuck ton. But a good love poem doesn't have any extra energy. A good love poem is reciprocal. A good love poem is relational. A good love poem is radical. A good love poem serves those who need it most. First, a good love poem calls you by your name. A good love poem says your name so sweetly you would have sworn it was singing it. A good love poem is winging it. A good love poem doesn't really make plans, ever. A good love poem wants to get to know you. A good love poem's into what you're into, minus most or maybe just a few, but a good love poem just wants to spend time with you. A good love poem is like a wizard. A good love poem is never late, Bilbo Baggins. Nor is it early. A good love poem arrives precisely when it means to. That was a Lord of the Rings reference, if anybody was unsure. A good love poem is unlike any other love poem you have ever heard before. Like, and then you get to know it. And you realize a good love poem's a lot like every other love poem you have ever heard before. Maybe it's in the vocabulary or the imagery or that je ne sais quoi. A good love poem doesn't need to speak French. A good love poem speaks angel tongues, even those of the fallen. A good love poem is never forgotten. A good love poem sometimes wishes it could forget. A good love poem holds on to a couple of regrets. A good love poem has longed, loved, and lost. A good love poem knows what it means to have lost. A good love poem learns how to grieve. A good love poem learns how to take its time and throw in a quick rhyme and maybe a callback. Because a good love poem has had its fair share of first kisses. A good love poem uses just the right amount of tongue. A good love poem speaks to your infinite divinity. A good love poem has never been written until it has been lived. Thank you guys so much. This has been a great audience. My name is Coady. Enjoy the rest of your night.